What's up, Internet? I'm Chimera, and I am bad at Homecoming City of Heroes. We're back with Professor Lareaux, and we're getting ready to contact Agent G, see what's going on with our next mission. We have located the three sites where Arachnos believes the Psychochronometron may have come to rest. All three sites are close to the forward Arachnos base, and each site is already being excavated. We may be out of time. I need you to investigate the locations, and if necessary, that base. The PCM might have ended up anywhere during the chaos of the Faultline incident. It seems too coincidental that it would end up so close to Arachnos. Coincidentally, I almost hope, confidentially, I almost hope that they fooled us, and this is a ploy to see how much we know. But I don't think that's likely. Concern yourself with investigating those bases and, if necessary, the Arachnos forward base. Neutralize all Arachnos troops within each dig site to disrupt any further excavation. But if it comes to it, you'll only need to confirm the presence or absence of the PCM at the forward base. Alrighty, we're gonna get to it here. It's hard to imagine that people once worked down here. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Another chamber in the old base. Another chance to recover the PCM. This might be the world's last chance. In the excavation, here beneath the rubble, was the tattered shreds of a costume, one you recognize as that of Psycurse, the creator of the Psychochronometron. The device itself is gone, though from the careful excavation markings around it, it wasn't destroyed or smashed or melted. It was taken by Arachnos. The code you got from the Skyraider still work, but is it too late? This vault was supposed to hold the psychochronometron, but instead had only this note. Nocturne, have some sense, my dear. I learned a long time before never to trust a night widow. I will take the psychochronometron to Lord Ricklose personally. No hard feelings, I hope. Arbiter Sands. As you read it, the truth sinks in. Arbiter Sands already has the PCM, and he's going to take it to Recluse. Well, I know this looks bad, but it's not over yet. I've been in communication with two other agents, codenamed Indigo and Crimson. They believe that Sands has not yet left Paragon City. There may still be time to stop him before he can deliver the PCM to his masters. We're going to meet Indigo and Crimson in higher level content. I think we meet Indigo in I want to say the 30s, and in Crimson in the 40s. Something like that. I have a plan. Arbiter Sands is still in Faultline, probably trying to avoid detection until he can escape to the Rogue Isles. The Psychochronometron requires psychic powers to activate, and Arbiter Sands has none. However, he does have a rival who has access to psychic powers. Okay. The letters are dancing around on me again. However, he does have a rival who has access to psychic powers, is antagonistic to Sands, and may know how and when he plans to escape Paragon City. Nocturne, the Night Widow. The plan is to lure Nocturne into a trap and get the information from her. So we're going to draw out Nocturne. We know that Arbiter Sands and the Night Widow, Nocturne, are enemies. From what we know of the internal structure of Arachnos, this isn't an uncommon situation, and we can turn it to our advantage. I will plant false information that Longbow has potential blackmail material against Sands hidden in our base in the dam. If she takes the bait, we catch her and find out about the Arbiter Sands' most likely escape routes and times. Your job is to catch her in the dam. It's a long shot, but it's all we have. I'd recommend that you get any allies with you into this I'd recommend that you get any allies with you into the computer room before springing the trap. Being separated would be very bad when Arachnos arrives. So I've done this on other characters, and she can be pretty difficult. At the most basic settings, she's classified as what's known as an elite boss. In modern vernacular, that just means that she's an elite, and typically can't be defeated without a group unless you've got the right power combination, the right power set. I'm going to give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, I'm going to see what I can do off camera to progress the story. But here we go. It's all quiet now, but once the trap is sprung, the fireworks will begin. Now, my minions, search the place. With Longbow's files on Arbiter Sands, I will be able to break him and claim the Psychochronometron for my own. Ma'am, there's nothing here, but Jenkins said he saw Professor Lareaux. Professor Lareaux? It's a trap! And other things that were too fast for me to read. All right. Let's go. That's not so bad. I got worked up for nothing. Good job, Sorcerer. I can't lose now. Ugh. You've done excellent work today, Professor Lareaux. Nocturne is on her way to Zigursky. But I learned Zigursky is like their like maximum penitentiary, like superhero prison or whatever. But I learned what we needed to know from her. I told her that Sans sold her out to us to keep her from messing with his plans. She was more than willing to talk to get back at him. She was able to tell us how and when Sans plans to escape, but she also told us that she gave that information to someone else in an attempt to delay Sans, Captain Castillo of the Sky Raiders. That was a difficult operation. I'm glad to see you made it through. We now know how, when, and where Sans is planning to escape with the PCM. But Nocturne also told Captain Castillo. I don't think Castillo really knows what the psychochronometron actually does, that it's valuable. He's certain to try and get it. I think the best option is a preemptive strike to stop him. Taking out Castillo may destabilize the area and allow Arachnos to get entrenched, but we don't have any choice. If the Sky Raiders even have a chance at getting the PCM, it could show up anywhere on the black market. Defeating Castillo now will not only keep him from interfering with the recovery operation, it should also keep the Sky Raiders off our backs until the situation is resolved. I might have mentioned it before, I don't recall. Arachnos is like this world's version of Cobra from G.I. Joe. It's a little bit different in that there was a secret snake cult that Cobra um, was actually serving, and Arachnos is more of like a militant uh, anarchist organization. Like they maintain control in the Rogue Isles only through survival of the fittest. In fact, the entire political structure within Arachnos is like, if you can outwit or overpower somebody above you, you can theoretically just take their position by taking them out. Although the organization um, doesn't support like outright murder, it does condone um, things that kind of help like strengthen the overall um, power of the organization. So if you uncover weakness in your opponent and then force them to attack you, and then you can just straight up kill them, and that type of thing. The Sky Raiders, if you haven't noticed, are kind of like a Pulp Fiction Sky Pirate type of enemy group. I really like their aesthetic. I kind of wish I had costume pieces to match and kind of play as like a redeemed or reformed Sky Pirate, but alas, uh, no such luck. This is to be my moment of greatest triumph. What are you doing here, Professor Lareaux? Ah, you appear to have done harm to my well-tailored uniform. You've done harm to my person, and that is the sort of harm I cannot abide. Truly, you fight with the will of one who is almost the equal of myself. Ooh, that was close. This is this is a happening that is impossible. Don't talk like that. Even weird narcissists don't talk like that. A quick search through Castillo's desk finds mostly men's fashion magazines, hair care and personal grooming products, and signed glossy photos of himself. But eventually, you find his paperwork. There are numerous memos from between Captain Castillo and Colonel Virgil Duray, the leader of the Sky Raiders, about the status of efforts in Faultline and the battle with Arachnos, as well as several patronizing and inept, though heartfelt, love letters to Dr. Delilah Stein. But most important, there is information from Nocturne about Arbiter Sands, confirming the information she gave you. There are also several books written by Dr. Stein on superhuman history, none of which have ever been opened. Castillo in custody, and the information you retrieved confirms what Nocturne told us. It would be better if we could get a third source, but Arachnos has changed their codes and there's no time. Arbiter Sands is leaving soon. You've got to stop him. The information Castillo had matches what Nocturne had told us. Arachnos has been bringing men and materials into the city through a series of underground rivers that lead to the ocean using submersibles. Arbiter Sands will attempt to leave the city in the same way, but we know where and when. This is our last chance to keep Arachnos from getting the Psychochronometron. It's a lot to ask of anyone. Can I count on you? Good. The underground channels depend on the tides, so we have Good. The underground channels depend on the tides, so we have some guarantee for the departure times. This place will be heavily defended. You will need to cut off Arbiter Sands' means of escape by destroying any and all submersibles docked in the base, and then capture Arbiter Sands himself. Sands will have the Psychochronometron on his person. Deep in the earth, the sinister presence of Arachnos hides from the eyes of justice, but not from you. Nothing more satisfying than a well-placed cone attack. Well, there are a few things that are more satisfying than a well-placed cone attack. Now, if my fight with Nocturne is anything to go by, I might be okay fighting Sands here. But again, this is another elite boss that I've had trouble with in the past. That's pretty okay. I'm going to read that in a second here. The mysterious menders have noted that you have been exposed in some way to temporal transference, otherwise known as time travel. Because of this, you have been granted access to the Menders Enclave, the headquarters of Ouroboros. You will find that you have been granted a power that can summon forth the Ouroboros door for you and your allies to use to reach the Enclave and find out what the Menders need done. So there's a whole aspect to the game um, that involves time travel. This particular arc um, touched briefly on it when the psychochronometron was used to manipulate history in such a way that everybody thought that Faultline uh, willingly destroyed part of the city, when it was in fact the villain that kind of just forced him to do it with evil superpowers. I can't remember exactly how he did it, but it was in the last episode. And there are several other um, missions, depending on the origin when you create your character. Contacts will branch out in different ways. So you're going to be exposed to different mission arcs based on your origin, whether or not you're villain or hero, of course, and a couple of other factors. If you follow from contact to contact like we've been doing, being introduced to new contacts, it'll go one way. If you if you use the contact menu to find your contacts, you'll be exposed to another set of stories in that fashion. So, but again, we're leveling Professor Lareaux naturally, as though we're just coming into the game for the first time. I'm using some meta knowledge as far as like kind of planning a couple of powers out ahead of time, things like that. But the general experience that we have with like the actual story is what a newcomer would experience. And so this is one of the many ways we get exposed to time travel. And Ouroboros, the enclave that it's referring to, has a much larger role to play in end game content. There's a whole section where you can use Ouroboros to kind of experience other story arcs and missions that you've out leveled. I usually wait until I'm already max level. I've got all my enhancements equipped that scale to the level, because you're actually level locked in those missions based on what level the missions were originally offered in. So having enhancements that are attuned is what they're called. They'll scale with your level no matter what. So it's beneficial to do it at max level when you've got all of your enhancements attuned, and will scale to your level with you as you go through that. And you can get some rewards and stuff like that. So yeah, what we'll do is I'm gonna finish up this arc, and then I'll do some like inventory maintenance and leveling up and stuff like that off camera. Oh, he's still got some more stuff to do. So this is it. Incredible. We both know what it can do. It has to be destroyed, and in a manner that prevents it from ever being built again. That means using the psychochronometron against itself to edit its own history, and maybe even some of the laws of reality. Turning Faultline into a villain is a trivial. Turning Faultline into a villain is trivial compared to this. To overcome the backlash, you need somebody with more psychic power than Sister Psyche. Someone with psychic power on the order of the Clockwork King. Or Penelope Yin. The Psycho-Chronometron must be destroyed, permanently. The only way to do it is by having an immensely powerful psychic use the PCM on itself so that it can't work again. To do that, you'll need to contact one of the most powerful, albeit untrained, psychics on Earth, Penelope Yin. However, this will not be easy for 3 reasons. Arbiter Sands, Nocturne the Night Widow, and Captain Castillo all escaped custody during their transfer to the Sigursky Penitentiary. I fear they're going to try and intercept you. Tell me when you're ready, and I'll have a chopper waiting to take you to Yin's Market to meet with Penelope. Be careful. You might want to get more help if you haven't already. Secure Penelope Yin, give her the PCM, and tell her to order it never to work again. She should be able to take care of the rest. If you encounter Arbiter Sands, Nocturne the Night Widow, or Captain Castillo, don't concern yourself with them. In fact, you may be able to get them to eliminate each other, considering their history. Getting the PCM to Penelope is your only objective. If you stay on track, it may only take you minutes. Good luck. So, we're going to do that in our next episode. Going to do some stuff on the way to the mission objective, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.